Hi, guys. Welcome to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We're kind of a little different setup. You never know where we're coming live from.
Never ever. Hello, Patriot family. Thank you for joining us from Spotify and YouTube and X and TikTok and all the places, Rumble especially. I did find out that we do have a Truth Social. So if you do have Truth, you can go over
Okay.
to Open Mic Ladies on Truth and find us there. We're trying to build
Absolutely.
up that content there. So um, all of your help would be very grateful.
Very much appreciated. We
Yep.
have a special show for you today, guys. We're going to bring you just a little bit of breaking news, talk specifically about the designation of Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization.
Freaking finally. Sorry.
And are we even allowed to have this discussion? Because our
Right.
guest that's joining us, we had a really interesting interview with Ryan Williams, aka Big Bacon. I think
Big bacon. No, and it's not that kind. Just
And
saying.
listen, it's gonna be a lot of fun, so make sure you buckle up. Open mic ladies are really opening that mic. Here we go.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us? Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the Mayor Maggie, the RNC King. 2024 freedom gon' bring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
Keep your red hat on. That's right.
I love it. You
Metaphorically.
better. You better keep it on.
Better.
Don't take it off. I mean,
You
yes.
can get. Oh, you can't see it. I've got the black MAGA over here. You can get a
I
Flint
love that
hat.
MAGA. I need a different setup. This is like really driving me crazy back here because it's in my living room.
These are
So
my
I don't have
favorite,
an actual office. Oh, that's my favorite too. It's actually in my car.
I think a little ghetto. I like that.
Oh my gosh, wait. We look
It's
like
like
two of
when
us.
you're reminded
Did you
that
see
you
that?
used to be hood. You know, like you're Christian, but you used to be hood. Do you know what I mean? Like that's when it's like, you want to try? You want to give me a try? Lots to talk about today, but we are going to show our viewers the wonderful interview, the sit-down interview we had with Ryan Williams. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, I'm hearing that sometime today, the House is going to vote to release the Epstein files. Did you hear this? Did y'all hear this?
Yes.
Well, maybe I should mute my phone while I'm recording. I don't know. While we're going live.
Hey,
All
it
right,
happens. Mine rang during our other show the other day. Literally.
like a couple of bros.
Look at that. See, but they tried to say that this was Trump. They spelled Bill Clinton wrong. Interesting. And he looks a little cozy.
He
Didn't
looks
he
very
fly
cozy
on
there.
the Epstein plane like 36
The
times?
Lolita
Island like
Express, maybe?
36 times?
Okay, so listen, the U.S. House is now scheduled to vote today on the release of Epstein files, roughly 1:30 p.m. President Trump has now endorsed the bill and said it should pass with flying colors. This is exciting. This is kind of what we've been talking about.
Right.
Although, Allie, I did notice, did you hear what our own Anna Paulina Luna has said here in Florida? Let me pull this up. Hold on.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, Bill and Hillary Clinton are refusing to appear before the House oversight for their
What?
depositions regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Notice how the
Hold
House
up.
Democrats suddenly have nothing to say about it?
Ooh, you can refuse?
Well,
You can refuse?
they're going to say
I
like
didn't know that was a thing. House Oversight Committee. You're you're a former sitting president and you're a former Secretary of State, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why can you not come and sit in front of the House Oversight Committee, sir and ma'am?
I don't know. I would think it's like they could make an outing of it, the whole day. Just it'd be like a lovely couple thing they could do. Like, oh, honey, you remember those days when we used to ride on the Lolita Express together? Like, maybe this could be like a bonding moment that they could come
Right? Breakfast in the House Oversight Committee?
Good news, good news. And we've all been talking about this
Gosh.
here. One of the only news networks that's been talking about this. Marco Rubio says that the U.S. is going to move to declare Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization.
Guys, listen, this is what happens when public pressure works, right? We have many military members. We're seeing that are speaking out about this, that want this to happen. Prior service, some veterans. We have what we're witnessing, what is going on in Texas. We're witnessing what's happening in Dearborn, Michigan. We're seeing what's going on in New York City. We're seeing what's happening in Florida. Like, yes, Florida, yes, red Texas, yes. We're seeing all of these things occur everywhere across the nation. Now is the time to act. We don't want to wait until there's a catastrophic event, right? That is piss poor planning. And from my perspective, we do not have a piss poor planning administration. We have an administration that likes to be proactive. We have an administration that cares about our families, that cares about Americans in general, that cares about American interests. So I'm really glad that he is moving forward to doing this. I understand that Antifa had to be done first. I get that. Great. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Now let's move to the bigger target, which is definitely the Muslim Brotherhood.
And there are those, Allie, and because I want to get into our obviously leading story that we're coming to you with. This is a special segment, guys. You will not see this anywhere else because nobody else honestly has a pair big enough to show you this. But
we technically grew too. So, I mean, I got 2 boys, you got a boy. So yes, we did in fact grow a pair.
Oh, I love it. Well, so let's talk a little bit about the free speech that we love here in this country that allows us to really largely talk about other religions, other faiths, other beliefs, and even those that do not coincide with our constitutional right. We talked yesterday on the show about Sharia law a bit, and how there are some courts, even in Texas and California, that are allowed to operate strictly off of Sharia law. That's bypassing our Constitution and their state constitution. But it's not just 2 states now in the United States. This has been going on in Europe and in UK for a long time. Enter to the stage Ryan Williams. He goes on this show on Sky News, which I largely thought, honestly, Sky News was one of those few, from Australia that we used to get that's really open to a lot of different chat. They basically put together this show. They labeled this girl Freya
as a firebrand, right?
As a firebrand. She's basically Allie and I. And she's adorable. Like, she's adorable. And they pitched this as like this big firebrand talk show. No
controversial topics, right?
Controversial topics is the way it was sold. Well, as soon as Ryan Williams went on the show, they did not only did they not like what he had to say. I want to play you guys the moment that he showed up on the screen. See if you can see what's on his shirt here. Allie,
I spy with my
I spy. Take a look. Here we go.
Commentator Joey Manarino.
And no, you don't need new glasses. Ryan Williams, who was beaming in from Perth, had indeed used sellotape to stick rashers of bacon to his shirt. But no bother, as Freya plunged in to ask, of course, about Charlie Kirk's death.
What's your reaction been to the assassination, the fallout we've seen, and just the levels of hate that have been directed towards Charlie since his murder?
Now, ready yourself for Mr. Williams' answer, which was nothing short of an ambush.
He does not
and
like
a warning
this
is appropriate because with apologies, we're going to play the worst of it. And it really is repugnant.
The reason I've got bacon on my shoulders is because the terrorists are a charming lot and they threaten to behead me every single day. So a little bit of protection. I just have a very clear, simple message to Muslims, which is stop worshipping a pedo warlord who's a Bonnie Blue of the 7th century, sleeping with 30 Al Zoot men, who married a six-year-old and slept with a 9-year-old. And there's only one culture that pours acid on women's faces. There's only one culture that makes women cover their faces so other men don't rape them.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's important that you guys understand that Sky News has now backtracked on this. Maybe you don't like what he has to say. Maybe you don't like it. But he has a right to say it, and you brought him on your freaking show to say it, and then they ended up kicking the show off the air.
They did the entire show, even after they made her apologize, the host, which I thought was egregious. I mean, she looked like she was about to cry. It was literally like a hostage situation. Poor girl. I
Was it
felt
nice
so
to
bad
see
for
you?
her watching her apology story. But my point is, what is so egregious about him about the Scottish Korean,
That's what he
right?
goes by, Scottish
Ryan
Korean.
Williams, saying that he is getting death threats by terrorists, and that's why he's wearing bacon on his collar.
And for
How
those
is
of you
that?
that don't know,
It's not the part of him being beheaded that's the egregious part. It's the part that he's like speaking about it and wearing bacon and calling them terrorists, because that's exactly what they're doing when they're
so
threatening.
Allie, I'm not by any I'm not saying that I'm a pro at understanding the Muslim religion at all. Obviously, I'm a Christian, but they're in the Muslim religion, they are not allowed to be near pork. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
know.
So
Yeah,
bacon, and then
correct.
I'm just letting our viewers know, because I don't know if you're picking up what we're laying down. So
So, and I made this analogy. It's like garlic to a vampire. You don't want a vampire to bite your neck. What are you going to do? Wear a garlic necklace. That's I get his humor because he's like the American Alex Stein.
oh yes, yes. But Allie, so he's now, when we interviewed him, he's in this country. He may already be on his way back. When he goes back to the UK,
Yeah.
he is going to be met with
Stay
handcuffs.
domestic.
You do not have the right in the UK to speak this openly. You do not have the right to, they're arresting people because of what they put on social media. And so I need our viewers to understand the reason we're
About
showing this
Islam and
about
Muslims.
Islam predominantly, yes.
Right. About Islam and about the Brotherhood.
And this is why we're bringing it to you guys, because nobody here in this country is covering this. Nobody's speaking about it the way we're speaking about it. We are seeing at large the Islamification of some areas of our country. And we know that CAIR, CAIR, is a politically active arm trying to get more people like you see Mandami in New York City. They're trying to get more candidates that believe in Sharia law and want to see it instituted here. That does not coincide with our Constitution. We've got to start having these discussions. So Allie and I, we prayed real hard on whether or not we do this. We did bring Ryan Williams in to speak to him. I'm going to tell you right now, go get your big girl pants and your big boy pants and put them on. Do not, I would send the children out of the room, because there are some topics talked about in this free speech, open mic platform. We wanted to give Ryan Williams a chance, since he was largely muted. And they took him off that show, and then they took the whole show off the air. So we wanted to give him a chance, Allie, to, I guess, speak. So you're going to see it uninterrupted, no commercials right now. Here it comes. He calls himself Mr. Bacon on open mic. Take a look. Hi, guys. Allie and Michelle here. We've got a wonderful exclusive interview with Ryan Williams. Now, some of you might not know who Ryan is. He goes by am I saying this right, Ryan? The Scottish Korean? Is that what you go by?
Yeah, well, I know Ryan Williams is the most Korean-sounding name you'll ever hear. A lot of people look at me. It's just like, not what we expected him to look like, but he will do.
Definitely not what we expected him to sound
So we'll
like.
take him.
We like it.
We like it. We're here for it. So you have to tell me, we saw an interview of you on Sky TV network, and apparently I thought it was brilliant. There was some, I mean, obviously, because we here in America, we love free speech. I might not agree with everything somebody says, but the ability to say it, once you box your feelings in and you don't have that tender, delicate external skin, it's fun to have free debate, free dialogue. And you do that better than anybody. But I guess the Sky TV News crew and their network didn't like it so much. Tell us what happened when you appeared on that show.
Well, I don't know what they were expecting. It's not as if I hide my opinions at all, I kind of start off saying, look, I may be hung like a chipmunk, but I've got enough balls to fight Islam. So, I mean, I'm a half-naked Korean guy wearing bacon on my shoulders. Do they really think that I was going to come on and talk about, I don't know, trans rights? I just don't know what they expected. I mean, I think they should really be upping their due diligence a little bit.
Well, I have to agree with you. So you have to tell me. We'll show parts of the clip as B-roll footage while we're doing this. But I want to know. Okay, so you had on your shirt. At first, I thought they were two stripes, like how you have pinstripes on shirts.
Yeah.
And then I looked, and I'm like,
He's got bacon on right now.
Got a little bacon.
Look, his hair. I love it.
Allie
So
says
funny.
it better not be what?
It better not be. It can only be Smithfield. It can't be like organic bacon.
Why?
Because Smithfield is owned by the CCP, and we're trying to get rid of them.
So you only can use that for your shoulders.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, but tell our viewers, for those that maybe aren't putting it together,
I know
why
we all
you have the bacon.
I am not CCP. A lot of people accuse me of being a North Korean spy, and I just go, I wish I was that smart. I wish, but yeah.
Well,
listen,
Korea and China are not the same. Definitely not.
Yeah, right.
So those people.
We're like your more Pikachu-friendly version, of China. Yeah. I was gonna think like Japan. Yeah. We're kind of more of these kind of Asians. You're loving Asians. We were saved by America. I'd be speaking Japanese if not for the Americans. I always try to say that America, thank you very much. 37,000 soldiers died in America during the Korean War, often called the Forgotten War. And those veterans, I owe my life, my entire family's life, and generations of Koreans to come. So those veterans, I will always stand up for you guys. Always grateful, and thank you so much.
Well, I love that. So Allie's a veteran, but part of what you fought for is to be able to have your free speech, at least in this country. But when you show up on this news network, Sky TV, and you have bacon strapped to your shoulders, they asked you why. So go ahead and tell our viewers, tell the viewers why.
Well, I criticize Islam because I've got an IQ of over 70. So I think that's the start. And number two, I think as human beings, we have general principles all around the world that we don't abide by. We don't like child pedophilia. We don't like child marriage. We don't like murder. We see people as equal, and we live in a meritocratic society. Islam, their prophet Muhammad, married a 6-year-old, Aisha. Hadith 5134. Sahih al-Bukhari. I often say Sahih al-Bukaki, but that's another time. Well, I mean, it is a pretty much Bukaki-filled 72 virgins worshipping religion. It's very good if you're a low IQ, inbred man with no prospects in life and you hate women. Then, and if you're very gay, then of course you want your woman to be covered head to toe in a letterbox. That burqa.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So. Listen, I'm just your very average, normal guy. That if we're having a barbecue, all the guys are just saying this. I mean, most of us just kind of go, "This is bullshit." Let's just say it for what it is. It's just we're calling it bullshit, and you say the obvious, you say the truth. You quote the Hadith and the Quran. I even studied a bit of the Musnad. Now that's really spicy stuff. That's where you get into Al Zut territory, where he got 30 men of Al Zut to give him the spunk he needs to get the power of 30 men. But I can.
We just ate. I know. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, yeah, it depends on what you ate, but he ate something last night, for 30 Al Zut men. And now he's got a strength of 30 men. So, look, it's a pretty gay religion. Let's just put it that way. You hate women. They hate women. They treat them like shit. And children are what they're, idolizing. As soon as you stop menstruating, you're available for sex and breeding. It's just a nonsense. And it comes from their prophet Muhammad, who was a warlord of 83 wars. Right. And he has sex slaves. Jesus is the complete opposite. You couldn't cancel Jesus today. What a lovely man. Just as a general rule, if you're behaving like a dickhead, you could, and if you're a Christian, another Christian can come up to you and say, that Jesus would not, he would just say, please just don't do that. And if somebody does something egregious to you, that our leader Jesus, he'd be like, just forget it. If he was around today, just come on, just focus on the good sides. And if it was Prophet Muhammad, gonna shag your sister.
Yeah.
And then stone her to death.
And this is the thing, and I don't know if I should call you Scottish Korean or if I should call you Ryan Williams or if I should call you Ryan. So I'm gonna call you all of the above. But
big bacon.
Bacon.
I'm trying to get that as a trend. Big bacon.
Big bacon.
Okay, big bacon. I gotta say something then. Yeah. So all we're doing here is we're having a dialogue about world religions, and literally, this has been there is, it's just like with the trans and LGBTQ community. You're largely not allowed to either ask questions or push back or criticize or ask, you know what, you don't get to control my speech about it. God bless you for what you believe, but my mouth is very much mine, and as long as it is, I get to decide what comes out of it. So you saying what you said, what you said, I'm just floating over it. That's okay. What you said on Sky TV Network was really just your opinion. They not only closed down the show, they removed them from the entire network. And this girl, this young girl that's the head of it, she was advertised as a firebrand who was going to bring this exact type of dialogue,
right?
So did it shock you that wearing bacon on your shoulders, which you said during the show, is because you've had threats of violence and beheading, and you know that the Muslim faith will not go near bacon?
It's like garlic to a vampire.
So that was the statement you were making. Were you shocked by their response?
To be honest, I felt a bit bad for the host, but honestly, what were they thinking? I mean, this is the world we live in today. I think we're living in a world where smart people keep their mouths shut because they are afraid to offend idiots' feelings. And I refuse to live in that world. I refuse to, die as a slave. I'd rather fight for something. And, there's that age-old phrase, evil reigns when good people do nothing.
Yeah.
And let's just get on with it. I mean, technology will be there to replace my head if they get it.
So what was maybe through Elon Musk? You never know.
You never know.
So what exactly were the cause of these threats that you were receiving, if you don't mind telling us?
Well, the cause is number one. I think I do a bit of brand reverse engineering, so I coined the term "leave the goats alone." That kind of went. Well, I think now every time somebody says something a bit off on my profile, my followers throw digital bacon at them, going, "Leave the goats alone," or "Calm down, Akbar," or the various sorts. I call it digitally baconing somebody. But yeah, throwing digital bacon at them.
Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, on a serious note, I'm not here to harm anybody. Arabs, Middle Eastern people, they were never Muslim in the first place. It's a very new religion, 720 AD. Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, even Egypt, Coptic Christians, Iran, only recently majority Muslim. They were Zoroastrian before. These countries have been genocided, culturally genocided by Islam. So let's understand that they had diversity, that they had a plethora of religions and beliefs that got completely genocided by Islam. Okay, we're not going after these people. They have been corrupted by an evil system, and we're trying to lift the sword. Their ancestors were turned to Islam by the sword. It's called the sword verse, jihad, dawah. So as, just decent human beings, we're just trying to lift up the sword. We're not telling them you have to leave. We're just lifting that sword up and going, look, here are the facts. Let's stop the brainwashing. And you can make your own decision. Now, if you're so thoroughly inbred, which a lot of Islamic countries, unfortunately, they are. I think 65% of British Pakistanis are inbred, having sex with their first cousins. Now, this is done by our National Healthcare Service. It's a study. It's called the Bradford Study, NHS. So, top tier liberal institution, whatever. They've reported over 65% inbreeding. It's like, come on, guys. Like, you couldn't make a worse brand image of yourself. Honestly.
That's so crazy.
Well, and you think you're speaking to us. You're here in the United States. You just told us before the show you're getting ready to head back to is it Australia that you're heading to?
The UK.
The UK, sorry. So your arrest is imminent for saying the things that you've said. There is no free speech at all there, according to this, right?
So 12,000 people are arrested in the UK every single year for social media posts. That's more than Russia and China, like combined.
Wow.
And it's because we have a Home Secretary called Shabana Mahmood. Now, I know it sounds like a very British name, Shabana Mahmood. And Shabana Mahmood is the Home Secretary in charge of political oversight of MI5, MI6, James Bond
Oh,
shit, and the police. So why are the police doing all this shit?
Right.
And well,
yeah.
who's the head of the the snake in the grass? And we say the extremist Muslims are the snake in the grass, and the moderate Muslims who hide the snake are the grass.
That
Well,
actually makes sense when you put it that way.
and we've been talking about this on our national show, Open Mic. We're going to touch on it too on our local show, Coastal Conservative News. But here's why, to our viewers, here's why we're bringing this to you, because just pad your feelings right now. We're adults. You're going to be okay. You can
It's
rock
late.
yourself to sleep later tonight. We want to have this discussion largely, big bacon, because what we're seeing in this country, in certain pockets of this country, is an extreme form of, I guess you're going to call it, we'd call it Islamification of the United States.
Right.
And it is in direct violation with our state constitutions and obviously our founding constitution. So you cannot serve two masters. You cannot have two forms of law that contradict each other. And we want to sort of, I guess, cast the light on something that's taking place in this country. Sometimes we look over to England and across the pond and we say, look at what's taken place over there, because it's a foretelling of what will come here. That happened with transgender surgeries. That happened with open borders. It all came to this country as well. So we're kind of screaming from the hilltops.
Like, we're seeing Dearborn, the complete takeover of Dearborn, Michigan, with Islamic radicalists, and we're seeing it happen in Texas with this building of this epic city, and where you have a lot of people that are coming out from the community demanding that the legislature do something about this.
Yes.
But then it's happening here in Florida with education savings accounts, because nobody thought about it ahead of time. So these are the unintended consequences of just some of the legislation that's been passed. But when we see people like you, and you're from a different country across the water, and you're like, hey guys, this is what's happening over here. I'm bringing it to you in this way. And while a lot of times it comes across as, oh, you're just being funny, it's comedic, but we also have somebody here named Alex Stein who literally does the same thing. We've seen moms come in dressed as cats and bring litter boxes and say, okay, so now I can utilize the litter box in front of you because you're allowing litter boxes in my kids' classrooms, and I identify as a cat, so you can't call me a human.
Well, it makes sense. They're all pussies.
Right.
Yeah.
You're bringing attention to the issue with shock value. And I think there is a place for that. There has to be a place for that, because we've been talking about this until we're blue in the face about certain issues, and it doesn't stop. It's very interesting.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you to follow up on that. Do you think that, for example, here in our country, the First Amendment, do you think that freedom of speech is there a buffer? Is there a place where it's not allowed to be exercised? Do you think there's such a thing as going too far?
Well, you can't really scream bomb in a plane, but listen, for everything else, I err on the side of freedom is absolutely the way to go. And if you can't discuss and criticize each other, then we're in deep shit. And
I agree.
And yeah, maybe there is shock value, but there's real facts in what I do try to say. So I try to be entertaining. For example, did you know a fact of eating bacon reduces the chances of you marrying a 6-year-old by 98%. But there are 50 Muslim countries around the world. Why the fuck would you come to the West if you want to live on the Sharia law?
Right.
So
it doesn't make sense.
That makes
because we're not going over there doing the same thing
and telling you that you have to, maybe
liberate your women. Right? We're not going over there doing that.
Yeah.
We're not saying that you have to bend the knee to Christianity. We're not saying that we need to come and build churches in your county or in your state or in your community. We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. But you guys are doing it over here, and it's obviously failed over there. You're not allowed to have the call to prayer out in public like that. You can have the call to prayer actually happen, and then you pray in your own home. You're not allowed to do it on the outside because it is disturbing the peace or disturbing everybody else's movement. But yet you're doing it, you're forcing your way in American cities. That doesn't make any sense. Go home and do that.
So
they're doing it in Japan.
Go
They're going into the middle of roads in Japan.
Wow.
Their arses up in the air. It's like nobody wants to see that. Again, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's the only religion that behaves so awfully. Christianity, you've got a nice lovely man. You got, you know, Jews, you know, they've got their own very old 3,200-year-old religion.
Yeah.
Buddhists, you know, they worship the Buddha. You know, nobody's harming anybody apart from Islam.
Yeah.
So, do you think, what do you say to people who say that your message is just simply anti-Muslim and that they're afraid that what's going to happen is there will be violence carried out towards people who are of the Muslim faith? What do you say to that?
I say I'm anti-pedo worshipping. So if you're worshipping a leader who has sex with a 9-year-old, okay, and thinks it's okay to marry a 6-year-old, and has sex slaves after 83 wars of conquest, genociding the poor people of Middle East, turning countries that had such diversity and now is under the black flag of Islam, then I say this. What what are the consequences if we don't start speaking up now?
Right.
If, you know, what are you going to tell your children when Islam is taking over? You can tell your daughter, yeah, well, Daddy, what were you doing when Islam was taking over? Oh, I was sorry. I didn't want to, I don't want to do anything because I don't want to be called an Islamophobe. It's like bullshit. No, I'm going to speak up now, make your peace, and say what you need to say before the right to say something gets taken away from you. That's Christopher Hitchens. I'm your Timu, Christopher Hitchens.
Timu Christopher. I love that. I love that.
So
Yeah.
good.
So, and I love that you've put it so eloquently, because in our discussion in bringing you on to the show, one of the things that I know went through our minds, and in this conscious decision, because we've seen people be deplatformed and canceled for doing this very thing. But you're right in step with at least what we believe with being able to exercise your free speech. Here's the thing that I know was on my mind before bringing you on. When people talk about, well, you're going to just stir up hate and you're going to just stir up some kind of violence, I can't think of a more violent act than forcing a 6-year-old to get married to you,
Right.
and a 9-year-old to have sex with you.
Right.
That is the violence that we're standing unified against. Now, if somebody in the Muslim religion would like to stand up and say they don't believe in that and they can point to a different book, I'm all ears, because largely in this country you are allowed freedom, not from religion, freedom of religion, and we will defend
Yes.
that absolutely.
Yes.
But you have to think, what is the real violence that we're up against? Is it your feelings because of your faith, or is it the fact that your faith practices open pedophilia?
Yeah. And of course, leave the goats alone to Islam.
He's got to make me laugh at the end. Make sure you put your drinks down.
You know,
Well,
in Scotland, we do say funny gets the fannies. So I was around tubby kid when I was younger. So, you know, being funny is all I really had.
Well, you know what? Sometimes being funny is one of the few ways that we can actually talk about very delicate and difficult topics, because it's not something fun to discuss, obviously. Do you have I want to know if you have any words of wisdom to other people that might consider themselves an influencer, or even other platforms like what Ali and I find ourselves on, that are kind of tiptoeing around some of these sensitive topics? What would you say to them?
Look, if you can, this is a very dark topic. So if you can make it somewhat, you can make it somewhat humorous, make it entertaining. It's important that we get the message out there, and not everybody's prepared to hear all the horrendous diatribe around Islam, because it's just frankly unbelievable.
It is.
Just read the Quran, Hadith, but nobody's going to read it. But it's quite easy to read. I mean, the Quran reads like a blog, to be honest.
That's a good way to put it.
If you're used to Reddit, it's like a very old form of Reddit. It's like tiny paragraphs. They don't make it too difficult. You know, if it was an Asian religion, it'd probably be mega, mega, mega paragraphs. But you know, thank God that Prophet Muhammad was also an ummi, so that means the unlettered prophet. You know. And so he couldn't even bloody read. Very uneducated man. So
Very interesting.
my advice to people who want to become influencers, whatever. For me, I'm just on a mission, which is I don't want my children to grow up under Sharia law or Islam. They can stay the fuck away from my future generations, and all other children who suffer under this. I will fight for your rights to not suffer this bullshit. If you believe in women's rights, if you believe in children, if you believe in a better world for your children, your morality should tell you that it is your duty to speak up against such a violent, hideous, evil system. And that does not mean take down Muslims. Muslims are the ones who suffer the most. They were never Muslims in the first place. These are great countries that date back to Hittites, Phoenicians, Babylonians. They've created beautiful things, and they're good people in spite of Islam, not because of Islam. They've created beautiful, incredible cultures despite Islam, not because of Islam. So let's get that straight for everybody. If you are suffering with this, there's an exodus of Muslims leaving the religion. And we will be around to help lift the sword from your neck, because that is why your ancestors turned Muslims. So we will be there for you.
And it is radical Islam that tore down a lot of the cultural history in the Middle East. And that's why they don't have a reference to the time when they were not Muslim.
When they were free.
What radical Islam does.
Absolutely. You look at the people that have largely fled the Middle East, especially Iran. They come to this country, especially the women, and they talk about what that was like in the 50s and 60s, largely before this influx of radical Islam took over their country. And I mean, it doesn't
that
even.
Country should have a second name. Their second name should be Away.
Iran.
I ran away.
I ran away.
So funny.
Wow. You know what? You come up with that on the fly. And here's my thing. If that network, Sky
My
News, would
flies
have
have been
given you
banned at
any
the
time at all, you have a wonderful message.
You really do.
It is a message of liberation. We should all be for that, right?
Women's rights, children's rights, anti-slavery, like you hit all the notches.
I kind of wanted to say to all Asians that we need to start supporting our Western brothers. If you are a Korean, you should be grateful you're not speaking Japanese. And there's only one reason for that. That is because of the West. They gave their lives to save us. And Pakistanis and Indians and these kind of Asians, Southern Asians, stop complaining about British colonization, because Hong Kong and Singapore were former colonies of the British Empire, now economic superpowers. The only difference between us and Pakistan is their shit culture. Stop complaining. These are the people that are ashamed of nothing and offended by everything about their past. But for us, we are the Asians who are ashamed of everything and offended by nothing.
Gotta have thicker skin, definitely. I think it's shocking that I'm partially upset that you're not allowed to do more of what you do, especially in this country. We could use people like you to embrace these types of conversations. If people can get, listen, people will
coming.
buy.
I might be on AmFest, so you know, if they
Well,
have me,
you're welcome here in Florida anytime.
People will spend.
People will spend billions of dollars to read smut books in this country and then claim that they're offended by bacon. People will spend a lot of money to go see the next Fast and whatever with piss poor language and the hypersexualization of women, but they'll be offended by bacon. And I think this is the conversation we need to have. Everything else is a distraction.
You say women shouldn't have to wear a burqa.
Or a mask during COVID. What the hell was that? It was like the biggest experiment to see, can those American women cover up? Let's see what they can do. The heck we will. Eliante. I want to thank you so much, Ryan Williams, for coming on our show. And can you let our viewers know how they can help you and where they can follow you? Because we'd like to follow what you're doing.
To be honest, I just want to have more conversations. You know, let's just be real. You know, this face is rather odd, so it will turn some heads. So look, if we were all in a room together, it'd be the freaking United Nations. I mean, they've got no chance to have lazy racist arguments saying that you're white supremacist. It's not going to work. We need to take out these lazy, stupid rebuttals that they have and start turning the tide. And you can find me. I'm at The Scottish Korean, or Twitter is Korean Scott. Or just type in Big Bacon or Leave the Goats Alone. I'll be lingering around somewhere. But to be honest, I'm happy to come on to shows. If I'm not in jail, I'm happy to just like come meet you guys. You know, I like ice cream. You know, just whatever. Just let's meet up. I don't drink, so
That's good. That's okay.
I'll have one of your floats, the root beer floats.
The root beer float. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
yes, because I think we definitely want to continue the conversation. Obviously, once this hits, I'm sure we'll have some rebuttals from people. And I look forward to that because let's face it, it's all a part of the dialogue. We had somebody that we treasure very much in this country. I think he's treasured across the globe, Charlie Kirk. who was assassinated for just trying to embrace and dialogue. And all that did to us as Americans, and you as well, is want to dive in even deeper to dialogue. The one thing that they're trying to forbid us from doing. So let's promise to talk more. We're going to keep you in our prayers as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. What a lovely bunch. Thank you.
Hey,
Right.
we're not all bad.
Cheers.
Bye.
What we're building isn't just a podcast. It's a movement, a microphone for the people, the ones who love our country, believe in the Constitution, and refuse to be silenced.
Yes, and we're not backed by corporate media. We don't take marching orders from party bosses. We are 100% independent and powered by you.
And if you've ever watched a clip and nodded your head and shouted, "Finally!" at the screen, or you've shared an episode with a friend, you're already a part of our mission.
Yes, now we're inviting you to go deeper. We're looking for investors, sponsors, and affiliates who want to help us grow louder, sharper, and unshakably bold.
Absolutely. Help us reach millions. Help us build a studio that rivals the networks. Help us equip the next generation of conservative voices to speak truth and defend liberty.
We've got the courage. We've got the message. We just need partners like you to help us amplify it.
This mic isn't muted, and neither are you.
Email us directly at contact@openmicladies.com. We answer, we listen, well, sometimes. We partner with Patriots.
And if you've ever said, "I wish someone would stand up and just say it," well, guess what? We already are. Guys, we are so much more than just talking heads. We actually walk the walk. We develop calls to action, and we actually move the needle to move the America First agenda.
Absolutely, guys. If you're interested, or if you know someone who's interested and you can pass this message to them, if you want to help us, make sure you reach out to us today at contact@openmicladies.com. That's contact@openmicladies.com. We thank you. Well, there you have it. If you lasted through the full 20-some minutes, you must be an American. You must have thick skin.
Right? I'm saying good job insulating your feelings there. I honestly don't see what is so bad about it. Like,
No.
I mean, it's free speech. He's not calling for like the outright slaughter of people.
He's
You
not
know what
being
I'm saying?
violent.
Like, he's not being violent. He's just speaking to the fact I especially love the fact that he's like, there's 40 Muslim countries. Why are you trying to come to the West to live under Sharia law? Go live under Sharia law in one of those 40 countries. Like, why are you trying to make it here in the West? That doesn't make any sense. Leave
And
us.
I love the
alone.
fact that that they are trying to say that he is using hate speech to talk about what's factual in
Right.
the Muslim community. What they pour acid on women's faces when they don't cover them. You should see their treatment of the LGBTQ community. You want to talk about something crazy, them putting the Palestinian flag next to the LGBTQ flag. It's like they don't allow you to exist over there. Do you understand? Like,
They don't even allow women to literally exist. They have to completely cover themselves. And they have to they're like slaves. They're less than slaves in those nations.
Their property.
It is their property. Like it is, and that's worse almost. So I just.
And here's the thing: you have the right to come to this country and bring your religion and your beliefs, and have the freedom to practice your religion. You do not have the right to impose something in this country that is opposed to the U.S. Constitution. Sharia law will never exist and coexist with the Constitution. We can't have pockets of our country. Talking to you, Governor Abbott in Texas, we can't have pockets of our country that operate on a different court level than we do, even under contractual law. It can't.
And honestly, like they're, and I'm sure there's going to be some wackos out there that are going to complain and be like, "Oh, well, freedom of religion." Yeah, okay, but does your religion oppress women? In our country, in our documents, our founding documents, men and women are created equal under the eyes of God.
Yeah.
Women can own property just like men can own property.
Yeah.
Women can hold a job just like men can hold a job. You're not going to do this here. Like you can't do this here. So if there is some kind of legislation or some kind of, court case that gets filed or lawsuit that's filed, I can almost guarantee that it'll get kicked back by the Supreme Court and it'll fall under the U.S. Constitution. No, you can't have this. It's antithetical. So,
absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
guys,
I'm interested to see. I pray for him. I hope that he's safe when he goes back to UK. But keep it here at Open Mic and follow us for updates.
And he has expressed wanting to come to the studio and just, he's very knowledgeable on a lot of really a lot of topics.
I mean, he quotes the Quran. I can't do that. I won't read it.
No.
Well, maybe I will now, just to be more educated.
Nah,
Just to
I'll
be
let-
educated, because I want to know. I want to know what I don't know, and I
So
can't know.
should we end on a lighter subject, I guess, guys? Go ahead, you can bring the kids back into the room. Take a look at this. Only, Allie, only,
thrilled to be
only
here
President
with
Trump
the
could do
men
this.
and the women who are really the heart and soul of one of the greatest, most admired, and most successful companies in the history of the world, frankly. The one and only McDonald's. I've gone there a couple of times. And I'm honored to stand before you as the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States.
Former fry cook turned president of the United States. Always
I love
trolling.
it. Now, if they can get rid of their seed oils and fake meat, that'd be great.
You know, they could not handle Donald Trump in the UK. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the way he has this sense of humor and the way he trolls?
No, absolutely not. The pearls would be clutched and the feelings would be hurt. But I mean, you're talking about a culture that literally says F off like all the time. I'm going to go F off over here. Like that's how they talk. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't understand how they could be offended by Donald Trump and his words, but you literally say offensive words like all the time. It's crazy. I don't know. The political mind pretzel it is. I have no idea.
Allie, I've also heard that I think there might be a bromance that is back in session. Did you see this? We're talking about Elon Musk joining President Trump for dinner with Saudi Arabia's crown prince. They said, we're so freaking back. Take a look. No audio to go with this, but I don't know.
That's awesome. Look at
Is
that.
Elon Musk that tall, Allie?
Yeah, I think Elon Musk is pretty tall. I mean, President Trump is pretty tall.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think President Trump is a tall dude.
he's very tall. So there might be a little bit of a bromance coming back. That's okay.
Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm excited to see it. I am not excited to see all of the trolls on X. But trolls will troll.
Here comes the burning Teslas again. Oh my gosh.
The trolls will troll. It's fine.
Trolls
It
will
is what it
troll.
is. Guys, you just need to focus, recalibrate, refocus. We have midterms coming up, and those we
Yes.
must win. So,
Absolutely.
be
And
the
guys,
sharpest
thank you.
tip of the spear in your circle of influence.
That's right, guys. And join us tomorrow for more open mic. Thank you for this for joining us on this special edition of Open Mic with our special interview with Ryan Williams. Guys, hopefully you respect the fact that we are conceived in this free speech platform. We will never go silent. We will not be afraid to bring you the stories that we think you deserve to hear because we are adults and we are allowed to practice our First Amendment right, guys. Thank you so much for joining Open Mic. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Imagine rewinding to 2020.
Parents obviously can equip their kid to go to school however they want, but there shouldn't be any coercive mandates.
Local school board members made a firm decision enforcing mandates that disregarded the voices of concerned parents.
This virus is going after our young children.
The emergency school board meeting in Sarasota dissolved into chaos as the board discussed mandating masks for students, which ultimately passed tonight.
Refusing to back down, thousands gathered at the Hollow, determined to secure exemptions for their kids. With the support of dedicated doctors, they navigated every path to shield their children from mandates. Yet, despite these united efforts, a darker challenge surfaced. Doctors who issued exemptions became targets, some even losing their jobs for standing by their convictions. That's when the decision was made, a bold new vision to create a sanctuary for children's health and a support system for parents' rights. Thus, We the People Health and Wellness Center was born, founded on a mission to serve, to support, and to protect. This vision has since expanded, aligning with the Make America Healthy Again movement and incorporating the most advanced treatment modalities. Additionally, We the People Health and Wellness Center has launched a series of transformative community-based events, each featuring a trusted expert. In December, Dr. Joseph Ladapo spoke about his new book to a packed audience. Next, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny in an intimate lunch and learn. Still to come, Dr. Pierre Corey, Dr. Brian Artis, plus others. The new management, doctors, and staff of We the People Health and Wellness Center stand with you, ensuring that no parent will ever have to face medical tyranny alone again. We are here to empower, to inform, and to support you for a healthier community.
They call masculinity toxic, but the truth is, God calls it sacred. My name is Camden Bettinghouse, and I've seen how the world takes what God meant for us as men and turn it into this thing called toxic masculinity. I wrote Fearless Masculinity because my generation's been lied to. You know, we've been told to sit down, stay quiet, and apologize for being men. This world doesn't need weaker men. It needs men who are willing to stand up and become fearless. Men who protect their families, serve their communities, and live without fear. Fearless Masculinity is a roadmap to discover who God truly made you to be as a man. It's about rediscovering purpose, building courage, and stepping into who God truly calls you to be. If you're tired of being called toxic just for being a man, and you're tired of shrinking back, tired of silence, this book is for you. Are you ready to step up? If you are, go to CamdenBettinghouse.com to get more information and become a fearless man of God.
What we're building isn't just a podcast. It's a movement, a microphone for the people, the ones who love our country, believe in the Constitution, and refuse to be silenced.
Yes, and we're not backed by corporate media. We don't take marching orders from party bosses. We are 100% independent and powered by you.
And if you've ever watched a clip and nodded your head and shouted, "Finally!" at the screen, or you've shared an episode with a friend, you're already a part of our mission.
Yes, now we're inviting you to go deeper. We're looking for investors, sponsors, and affiliates who want to help us grow louder, sharper, and unshakably bold.
Absolutely. Help us reach millions. Help us build a studio that rivals the networks. Help us equip the next generation of conservative voices to speak truth and defend liberty.
We've got the courage. We've got the message. We just need partners like you to help us amplify it.
This mic isn't muted, and neither are you.
Email us directly at contact@openmicladies.com. We answer, we listen, well, sometimes. We partner with patriots.
And if you've ever said, "I wish someone would stand up and just say it," well, guess what? We already are. Guys, we are so much more than just talking heads. We actually walk the walk. We develop calls to action, and we actually move the needle to move the America First agenda.
Absolutely, guys. If you're interested, or if you know someone who's interested and you can pass this message to them, if you want to help us, make sure you reach out to us today at contact@openmicladies.com. That's contact@openmicladies.com. We thank you.
Is legacy media really dead? I keep hearing reports that it's dead. We keep seeing numbers that seem to point to its demise. We, of course, know that legacy media has zero credibility left. But is it dead? And the answer to that is, unfortunately, no, it's not dead. And I don't think it's as weak as many of us want to believe. I know I wanted to believe that it's completely feckless, completely toothless, that it no longer has any pull, except it does. I mean, let's call it what it is. It really does. And we can see this throughout the last few months. I mean, if you were to go and ask your average normie leftist friend, if you have any, if you have any leftist friends, ask them what they think about any topic. We can even take some of the most obvious examples of past malfeasance from legacy media. For example, let's look at the Hunter Biden laptop. Do you know there's still millions of Americans who have either never heard of the Hunter Biden laptop or who still believe that it was some sort of Russian hoax, Russian misinformation play? Today, now, in 2025, there are still millions of, maybe tens of millions of Americans who think that. You know, we saw during the riots, the LA riots that spread across the nation. We've seen a whole lot of people, and unfortunately a high number of people who still think that, to this day, they still think that the riots were organic, that these were just people that were rising up to speak out against the poor treatment of illegal aliens or whatever. And most importantly, based upon the narratives from legacy media, they believe that those riots weren't actually riots, that it was conservatives and conspiracy theorists who were saying they were riots, and that they were truly mostly peaceful protests where that was blown out of proportion by the dastardly Trump administration. Point being is that we cannot assume that legacy media is dead. We have to continue to fight it. It's one of the reasons that I am so very, very blessed and pleased to be part of Patriot TV. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us, of course, at patriot.tv itself, which is, I think, a tremendous site now with tons and tons and tons of content added daily. You can check us out on X. Find us on, we have a 24-hour live feed at Truth Social. Patriot TV is where I'm going to be fighting the hardest to try to take down legacy media, because the truth is only going to be accepted once enough people realize that legacy media is lying and that independent media such as Patriot TV is not only the future, it really is today. We have to do everything in our power to make sure that that happens. So check it out. You can find us at patriot.tv is the easiest place.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None.
Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
I've treated trauma in war zones, car accidents, backcountry rescues, you name it. And I often had to rely on inferior equipment. So when the folks at Jace Medical offered to help me build the medical kits I'd always dreamed of, I jumped at the chance. Let's start with the Jace Medic Kit. It's laid out for fast, intuitive access. It even includes a dedicated slot for the Jace case, your emergency supply of antibiotics. Next is the Jace Trauma Kit. This is for the most serious injuries, massive bleeding, chest wounds, burns, blunt trauma. We've also included a powerful lineup of over-the-counter and prescription medications. For everyday injuries, this is the Jace Aid Kit, your glove box, backpack, kitchen drawer essential. Compact, rugged, and packed with high-quality supplies. It's the first rugged kit combining prescription meds and premium first aid gear.
Visit patriot.tv/kit. That's patriot.tv/kit to get the only med kit on the market designed for real-world emergencies.